His name is Saidron Al Jamal.
He's Al Jamal.
He's an Ali Jamal grandson. His dad, right now he can't have that hand because he has the bridle. We'll do it. It's okay. We'll do it afterwards.
I'm sorry.
He's like, thanks a lot. Nice. Good job. Yeah. Once we get done, he can. Because right now with the bridle, he's not gonna.
He's not gonna be able to chew it. Yeah.
Get that saddle too.
So it's a lot of, and he's really good about making different saddles. Like you can see, all 3 saddles are different. That one has like little stars, and it's just silver and a little bit of gold. The other one, my other one, has black into the silver, and this one has black into the leather with the little beads. You can see it. So he makes all kinds of different kinds, and so that way it looks different. It's not the same saddle on every horse. So he tries to, every time he sells me one, he goes, this one is different, you need to buy this one. It's like, yeah, sure. If I was a millionaire.
How many years use can you get out of a single saddle before it starts?
Oh, if you take care of them, you can have a saddle for 30 plus years and still look this good. Like these ones I just use for show. I don't use them for work, and I have different saddles. So you want to keep your show saddles, away from working, because working is just very, very hard on the saddles. I'll probably go with the working side. I work 14 horses a day, 5 days a week. So does my guys. So working saddles, it'll probably last me, a really good saddle probably lasts me 5 years, tops.
So when you say work, you're really meaning training.
Training, right.
You're not really working the horses. The horses don't really work much anymore, do they?
I had people go, oh my God, you're so mean. And I said, if I had the life of a horse, I'd be happy. Half an hour a day, somebody makes my bed, gives me water and good stuff to eat. They get baby, their coats are so nice because you keep blankets on them. We put fly spray on them so the flies don't get them. They eat twice a day, and the stuff that they eat, we have to get good stuff because otherwise they get sick.
So pasture? Do they have?
No, they work, like I said, once they have in training, they work 5 days a week, and believe me, they're happy to just go back to their stalls and relax.
Yeah.
I had people that want to put them out, and they go out and they enjoy it for a little bit. For the most part, they're like, oh, yeah, this is stinky. I want to go back to my stall. Because the flies, and the heat is different.
Yeah.
The stalls, they have their roof, they have their water right, in their face.
Pellets.
So they like that. Yeah. They really enjoy, and it's funny, they really enjoy getting in the trailer and go places.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
Like travel.
Wow.
Yeah, like some people go, oh my God, they can go in that trailer. You walk them up, you can still ask I walk up into my trailer and they're like,
they want to get in.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yeah. And I notice when I go to the shows, if I look in the windows in my trailer, it has big windows in the back and the front. They usually look and like, hey, we've been here before. Yeah, they're very, they like all the activity, just like we do. It's not the same thing every day. We go to, like, next month I'll leave to go to Canada. So, I have one horse going to that one. Unfortunately, only one. But, they just like us. They like to go places. And the trailers are so comfortable these days. They're bigger. Their axles are actually, they call it rubber suspension, which is like a rubber band. So it has it's a really slow give. Before, in the old days, they used to have it's called leaf springs, which is metal, so it's bouncy.
They probably
these ones with the 2 axles and the rubber springs, they just really soft, go down the road. And so they really enjoy
it. The neck, about how how when you walk them, they have that particular Arabian neck.
Well, that's all the work that we do with them. I mean, they start out, they naturally have a hook. But you teach him to do that, and you can see right now he's not really taking his nose out because he knows I'm on him. So if I put my leg on him a little bit, hey, good boy, hey, good. So he knows that he needs to put his nose in. Now if I pick up my rein, a little more leg, he'll get tighter.
Wow.
Good. And then, so they want them really loose and soft off the bridle. So everything I do is soft. So when I ride, I just steer with this in my legs. So everything is, in what it is so much time in every day that it becomes easier for them. So every move I make, they go with me. And the reason they do that is because every day I do the same thing over and over again until it becomes easy for them. You know, it's like we get up in the morning, we put our foot in the shoe and ready to go. So that's kind of the same thing. They go down, I settle them up. I always lunge them a little bit because what happens is, when you get up in the morning, you're stiff. So I don't want to get on them when they're stiff and they don't want to go. I let them go and do their own thing. They'll back and kick maybe, or they just jog a little bit, but they loosen their muscles up, and then they're ready to go. So.
I think I resemble everything.
And I told my wife every year when I get up, this thing doesn't work very well. It's just my body's so stiff. I need some WD-40 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So a lot of that, and I'll show you guys. I think this thing will work as I go around. I do a lot to teach them that everything is just really nice and soft. And some of them you can tell them, sometimes they switch their little tail like, oh no, I'm not going to do it. And then they go, oh, sorry, I'll do it. But it just, they have ways to tell you, just that they like to protest that, like somebody that works for you. Will you do this? No, but I'll do it. So they're the same thing. They're not that they're unhappy or anything, but they have to put their own little sense into it. Like maybe I
Do they
wouldn't
have
do it.
moods? They have moods?
Yeah, they do, especially mares. Mares that have big moods.
Of
Yeah.
course,
Absolutely.
Of course we do.
We already know that.
And the stallions are in the mood all the time. They're just fighters.
Yeah,
Do you
there's
mostly show and work
That's right.
stallions, or the
I-
females too?
I have a lot of. I think right now I only have 2 stallions, and then I have pretty much half mares and half, geldings. They're not stallions anymore. Yeah. So like right now, I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna ask him to back up. And what I do is I just get him ready. You can see just little bumps in my hand, and he knows what I'm doing. And then I just take everything off and click.
That's the backwards beat in your car.
Yeah, it's the reverse. So now I'm gonna turn left, and all I do is just gonna lean my rein, a little bit of right leg, turn. And if I want him to turn harder, just put a little more leg. Go the other way. Same thing, you can see my body lean a little bit to that side. Okay, now I'm gonna ask him to jog, and I'm gonna just jog around, and I'll just do a lot of zigzag off my legs. So I just kind of turn, see right there I turn left, and he turned with me. I'm gonna turn right. Little bit of rein, so they have to be nice and soft. So whenever I ask him to do something, he gotta be right there for me. And then I just touch my rein just a little bit, leaning to the side that I'm gonna turn, right? I'm gonna turn right.
All he's feeling is that rein on the side of his neck.
And then I'm gonna ask him to lope in a little tiny circle.
Yeah.
So I just kiss to him. And when I want to stop, I just whip right in. Up. So what you do is you just quit. You just quit with your legs, quit with your body, and then he knows he needs to stop. And you can see as soon as I grab my rein, there was a little touch, he started turning, right? And they're so smart when I'm in the classes, they hear the announcer. And if they say reverse, they go, oh, we're almost there. So they reverse, and we usually lope. And when they say lope, they're like, you can see them getting ready even more. So then they say, it's time to line up. You can feel them kind of leaning. So I make sure that when they say line up, I go one more time around. Because I don't want my horses to go, I'm done, I gotta go in there. I want them to wait for me and wait for my signal. So yeah, that's a lot of little things that I, trick them a little bit so they don't get totally used to it.
got it. We understand.
Thanks, Jesse.
You're welcome. And you can see he knows exactly when he's doing it right. He's just like, okay, I'm done.
How long
I was going to ask you, they communicate to you too. I mean, you watch their ears and their position of their head. Tell us a little bit about that.
Usually what I do is they have different ways. Like I said, the tail is one of them.
Yeah.
Body language, they usually, if they're a little tense, they're just a little stiff. What I do is I just jog them softer. I use leg, but everything is very soft. So what that means is they get in like, you push me and I'm gonna let it rip, I'm gonna back. So what I do is I go, okay, let's compromise. We'll go slow and we'll warm up and get there. So once they get where I want them, that's one of the communications with their body. They get tense and then they want to see what you're gonna do. So if you get funny with it, they're gonna push it harder. But if you ease them into it, it's like saying please, then they go, okay. And they learn to work a lot better. And you can see like right now he's waiting for me, okay, what are we gonna do next? And you can see his lip is gone. He's just thinking, okay, where are we going next? So those forms of communication. Now the ears, if they look forward, but they're not really intense, they just looking at whatever's in front of them. If they look forward and they're really tight, like super tight the ears, that means something is gonna scare them, so you just gotta be prepared to ride them through it. Now if the ears pin back, that means they're unhappy. Something is hurting them and they're not gonna wanna work. And some of them are, unfortunately, are fighters, so they're always showing you the back ears. So those are hard to ride and train. I have one right now that I've been on him probably 8 years, and 5 minutes out of my lesson, he's just mad at me. Yeah, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I'm just sitting on him, he's mad. So he's just not happy with life, period. Doesn't matter what he's doing. And some of them, like I have a mare, she's beautiful, and she goes good, but one of my clients owned her and took her to Reno for a couple of years, and she learned that when he was on her, she go along good, and all of a sudden she said, I don't want to work, so started messing with, like, she has something in her ears, checking her head really quick. So she learned that, and then I just got her back, and the first show I took her, everything was good until I asked her to elope, and she's like, no, something is in my ear. I'm like, it's nothing on your ear. But she got used to it, and she did that, and he got off. And so she learned to quit, and that was her way to quit it. So now, so now that I got her back, and I just go, I don't get really heavy with it, but I just jiggle my rein, kick her a little bit, and I go, no, you got to work for her. And she's like, oh, okay, I think we can do this. So those are the biggest things. And when you're off of them, and Mike can tell you too, is they show you how they want to deal with you with their ears. If they come over and their ears are kind of funny to the side, that means they're not really quite sure about you. If they come over and they just soft ears, not really forward, but their eyes kind of look at you, that means they want to be with you. And there's like us, they have times they just want to be alone. They want to be left alone. And when they're like that, I just pet them, love on them, and let them be, because that way they're a lot better than when you go and you want to do all kinds of things with them, and then they go, you know what, that was really annoying. I don't want to deal with them anymore. So I try to kind of read their mind and go with them, and it's a hard thing, but once you learn it, it's very easy because you do it kind of automatically. Like most people go, well, you just sit in there, you're not doing anything. But everything I got used to reading their moves and how I move, and what I do with my body is what works with them. So, and they learn that, and it's easy. But if they say, you just sit in there, and I said, really, I'm not. And they go, no, you just sit there. I said, well, you don't see it, but it's my body movement. And the same thing like with the reins, if I just go, you can see as soon as I pick up, and if I pick up and I don't put a leg, see how he backs up? So now I'm gonna push his body to his hip. Okay, see what he did with his face? Good. There he goes. And some people go, okay, you wanna be really soft off the bridle. But horses are very smart. They learn how to make you soft for themselves. But the way we show them, we want them to arch their neck and hold it, because what that does, it picks up the shoulders and clears the ground a lot better. And then, so that clears the shoulders clear the ground, the backing comes in underneath, which is the strongest part of the horse. So then, therefore, they can go a long ways without getting tired because they just sitting on the butt working, rolling the shoulders over, picking up this neck and getting it up into a little curve. It makes the shoulder roll even more. So I work a lot off of that. So every time I pick up my reins and leg, you can see he arches. And I'm not going hard on him. And you're trying to tell me, nah, I don't want to do this. And a little bit, you'll go, okay, I got it. Good. Now when I let go, he'll stay there. Good. Good boy. So everything is a kind of a compromise.
What's missing here is all the crap you see about cowboys getting on horses and bucking them,
Right.
and being
doesn't
rough
ma-
with them.
Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah.
No.
And there's another thing that I work so much on when I get new horses. A lot of people go, let's just get a kid and get him to buck him out. Yeah, you can buck him out. Some of them you teach them to buck even more. So what I do, I work on the ground so much with long lines and the prados, so that my goal is that when I get on them, they don't want to buck. They just want to work. Because a lot of times, like Mike said, a lot of times every time you get on a horse, the horse wants to go bucking for 5 minutes. That, it kills the motivation of wanting to ride that horse that day. So with every horse I get, my goal is to teach him not to buck. And instead of going the other way. I mean, anybody can stay on him and get him to buck for 5 minutes and then go to work. But in the meantime, some horses learn to, okay, this is fun, let's buck around for a little bit and see if you can stay on him. And so it's a good thing. In the old days, the cowboys just loved to get on the horse and see who can stay on him and buck and all that stuff. But the reality is not good for the horse, or the cowboy eventually break down, So, yeah.
Thank you. So on a good day, do both you and the horse get a carrot?
Most of the times they get carrot, I don't. And they get nice
it's too bad.
expensive apples. I told one of my clients they buy the really expensive apples for them, and I said, "What is mine?" They go, "I only bought 3 for I got 3 horses." I'm like, "Well, next time bring 4. I'll take 4." But they get, and my wife has these bagged trees that she walks through the barn, and the horse they know that she's coming, so they started talking to her. They also, they talk quite a bit. They're once they know you, and I'm sure like Mike's horses are the same way. Once they know you, they see you, and they'll talk to you, and they know the time to talk and the time to just be quiet. Now times they know, they see you coming quiet, and they're gonna stay quiet. But if you see kind of like Porky and looking at him, they're like, he has something for us. So,
I can tell you that our horses will be over in that pasture, and we open up the sliding door as slowly and quietly as you can, and suddenly you hear this chorus of nickering, It's like,
ready.
We're here. Come on, don't forget it. Yeah, food. And then if you do that and you decide not to come out, they really get loud. That didn't work, so they upped the volume, but they really talk to you. Yeah.
I go horse camping, and if anybody brings a mule, the rule is you feed the mule first.
mules
Because
are
the mule will tell you they're hungry and wake everybody up. Like, feed that mule first.
We have a gator at home, and when they start the gator, all the farm, we have 40 horses in training. The farm just goes like somebody singing. Yeah, he's coming. And then we have a little donkey, and you know how the donkeys scream. It's the cutest thing. It's like an alarm. Like, the alarm go off, it's time to feed. Yeah.
So what we'll do next is we'll put one of the horses in and let her run around at liberty.
No, fun.
And we've kept Melita cooped up because they get fired up when they do that. But like Jesse just said, they have their moods. So she could come out here and go to sleep, or she can really show off. We'll see what happens.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome. Anytime.
You want to hop off? We
I
can
don't realize how intimate.
And this horse has another trick. When I get off of him, he's kind of rude. He tells me how heavy I am. So most of the times, I don't know if you do it today, but as soon as I'm gonna swing my leg, a lot of times he does a little buck. Yeah, you can see how he lifts up his back end a little bit. A lot of times he does it a little more. But.
So they can give him some apples.
Yeah, so he has no respect for me.